Alright, collectors, once again, this is Optical 20 for another video review. This time it's for Robocop with the mechanical chair version. I've just picked this up recently. It's on sale, not really on sale, but it has a double rewards and sideshow collectible. So I was just like, you know what, why not? You know, this is a classic figure. Been wanting to get one, but the price actually is not that bad. It's just that there's so many things coming out this year, so I'm trying to limit myself on the purchases. But once I saw the double rewards, I was like, you know what, why not? It comes down to pretty much the same price, or if not lower than Mark 40. Well, not really the same price, but the Mark 43, it feels like it's 360 bucks. I feel like it's gonna be after shipping. So with this one, it's close to that, but it has some nice diorama pieces and all that stuff. So, and as usual, we'll start off with a box. Pretty much the same as any other die-cast line with Hot Toys. As you can see, the if you have Iron Patriot or Mark 42, same concept. As you can see, the stencil white lining outer design. And I'm just doing an unboxing here. On top you'll see the stickers right there and the manual, which I would suggest you go ahead and read. There's a lot of good information. This is not like any other Hot Toys where you just plug and play. You gotta configure some things out. There's some assembly required. Nothing too too technical or anything like that. And as usual, as like I said, it's housed in pretty similar fashion as my Iron Patriot. This huge styrofoam housing. You just peel this one off, I guess, just to protect. And there's a lot of weight in the figure, and as you can see here, and this is a good reference, if you want to pause it, if you're buying this used, or if you're just putting the accessories back together. It's a nice reference guide. There you go. Like myself, because after I do the figure, I kind of like put away some of the accessories. And on this one, as you can see, the base, it kind of resembles the DX, I believe it's DX10 base, but this one does not light up. And I'm surprised they opted with a cradle, because with the die-cast series, they always wanted to do the waist grabber because it's supposedly a little bit heavier. But I guess with this one, since it's not all die-cast, although it's still really heavy, you can feel the weight on it, but I guess it would suffice. Yeah, it only comes with a bunch of hands. This one is the articulated fingers. You've seen this before if you had Iron Man, but this is more, I would say, articulated, because you can actually point the actual knuckles in a different direction, and even the thumb. On the Iron Man, it's the joints of the actual finger, but not the so to speak, the lower joints. I don't know how to describe it, but kind of like the knuckles. This one you could, so you can make some adjustments. And this is the Data Spike hand. If you can remember from the movies, he used this to I don't know if he killed Clarence Bodiger with this one, or I know he used this in a police station to get some data. So it's pretty cool. That's pretty much the hands. So and then he does come with two-fisted hands. That comes with the figure itself. This is the OCP. I don't know how to call it, magnet grabber, I guess. It's not heavy. It's plastic, I guess, but there's a magnet on the OCP, so you kind of use this to take out the back panel. And this is the two guns that comes with a figure. One of them is plastic, the one on top, and the one that you're looking right now is the die-cast version. On the die-cast version, obviously it is heavier. Supposedly this is supposed to go to his holster, and this is the plastic version. As you can see, more paint detail. The die-cast is just a solid piece. It doesn't have any articulation or even a removable magazine. This one does. Here you go. Just like any other regular magazine. This is a bit longer, There you go. I believe this is M93R if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong. And this is the die cast. As you can see, there's really no paint or removable items. I guess it sits better on his holster. And it's heavier, but I like the inclusion of 2 guns. This one cocks back, not that way, but yeah, just the half part right there. I'm trying to force it going that way, but yeah, I just figured it out. There you go. I thought it was the entire gun that cocks back, but yep, there you go. And like I said, you can see the paint apps, some silver paints here and there. It makes sense that they included a plastic gun. I would tackle that later on. He does not come with as you can see earlier, he didn't come with a gun holding hand. So you can just imagine if it's you have to bear all the weight of the die-cast one on those articulated fingers. And I like this housing, you know, even with DX12 and everything. Let me just take this out real quick. So, you know, you get overall 4 sets of faceplates, including the one that he has with the standard one. This is kind of like the open mouth, slightly open mouth, and the kissing mouth. They work best with different situations. Like I would assume the open mouth one, where his teeth is kind of clenching. You can pair that with the battle damage pieces, which I would show here. Here you go. He comes with 2 chest plates. This is the clean one. This is not die cast, but the paint is kind of like the die cast one, and this is the battle damage version, which is absolutely stunning. As you can see there, you can see it's not, you know, it's kind of sculpted inside. It has a hollow point right there, so it's beautiful. The bullet holes, and everything, that the dirt marks. I guess I just got used to Mark 7, where the battle damage goes all the way down to his legs. This one does not. It kind of reminds me of the Silver Centurion, which only has this one's a lot better though. Well, it kind of does the same. Silver Centurion has the battle damage faceplate and the chest piece, kind of like similar to this one. Nothing on, you know, the elbow or whatnot, but I guess Hot Toys wanted to milk this line because they're gonna come up with a battle damage Robocop. I believe not this year, next year, something like that. And you can buy it as a 2-pack version with an Alex Murphy one. This one, but you know what? Don't get me wrong. I'm really happy with the inclusion of the battle damage, because for me, that would be enough for me. That would be enough battle damage. Down the line, if I wanted 2 Robocops, maybe I'll pick it up too if it goes on sale. Go OCP Police 001. This is the clean helmet version. OCP Police 001. There's some good details on it, nice paint apps, and it's really easy to take on and off. So that's one thing that I do like, unlike the other Iron Man where you have to lift the tabs, not to take out the head sculpt, but you know, just to have it light up. This is the battle damage version. As you can, maybe you could, maybe you couldn't. There's an eye inside too, so you can see kind of like Peter Weller's eye. There you go. But the battle damage, you know, as you can see there, beautiful, just stunning. And it pops in and out quite easily as well. You know, I'm trying to have you take a look at it. I know on my other clips down the line, you would, you know, clearly see the eye. Maybe not on this shot right here because it's kind of hollow and dark inside. There you go, OCP Police. Not die-cast as well. That is made out of plastic, but it doesn't ruin any experience. Let me tell you that. It makes the way you change his helmet is just really easy. I couldn't have designed it, you know, even more accessible. So beautiful, beautiful piece. And moving along, we'll go. You know what I do like about this is actually the remote control. This guy has his sound function. You know, I'm pretty sure you've seen it on other reviews, so I'm not gonna demonstrate it here, but yep, you can see it there. You just press on, then there's an O and a B there. When you press it, the red, you know, there's a red button, not a red LED lights on the O part, which would indicate that, you know, it is indeed working. But the good thing about that remote is it can serve as a plaque, or, you know, like a nameplate of some sort, because you can stand it in a nice way. And the final and the biggest piece of accessory that he comes with is the docking station, or his chair, if you don't want to be fancy. You can see I put in the stickers already. It's a, you know, it's a nice piece of diorama. You can have him sit there, and it's really nice quality as well. There's some articulation, as you can see here. I believe it's the heart monitor that moves. Goes back and forth. You can swivel. This is the actual piece itself. This is where there's like a tube that the back of his helmet goes into, I guess, to import data. But the paint apps is really great. There's a lot of nice moving parts, as you see on this one. This one does indeed light up. I wish there's more electronic things on this chair, since there's a lot of wires and everything, and that is done on purpose, this wires, so make it look like, you gotta remember, this movie was made in 1987, so not exactly LED or flat screen that we're talking about here, but some cool. You don't have to put stickers on this one, it's already pre-made. I believe you gotta attach the monitor though once you assemble the chair. I can't remember, but yeah, there you go. And then there's a wire that goes all the way. You gotta stick it underneath the chair. There's like a slot for it, but it's kind of hard, I'm not gonna lie, to attach it in there. So I'm kind of scared, because it's made out of rubber, the end of that wire. So I'll attach it one of these days. So you can see the bottom, it has a wheel, so it's actually, you can actually wheel it off, and some battle damage, not battle, but weathering on the chair as well. So you can see even on the monitor, this one does indeed, it swivels. A lot of nice details in this guy. You can see some buttons. There's also weathering effects, some scratches, some paint marks. It comes like this. It's not like I'm careless or anything with my collection. I'm not. So if I've tried to sell this down the line, they're a part of the figure. And there you go. Some, like I said, some nice weathering on it. And this is the back part. Even on the rod on his chair, as you can see, it's kind of rusty. Gives you that look where, because you got to remember, he is not in a warehouse, but in the back part of the precinct where they store him. So not really Hamptons, so to speak. And it's this back part right here, as you can see on the top. It has like a housing, like a clear plastic housing. Looks like an acrylic or some sort of plastic. So nice touch, Goes the chair, the foot pegs where he rests his feet moves up and down in a really tight ratchet joint. So you just gotta kind of push it down if you are having trouble adjusting that. And on the back, as you can see, there's a lot of inputs on the monitor. It looks like that's a DVI input and some looks like some RCA. And also on the back, as you can see, there's this huge a fat silver wire that runs all the way from the top part where his head is to down there. So you see that, you can't see, it's kind of blurry. There you go. That's the end of the monitor. That's where you attach it towards the the bottom of the chair, and that's the fat. It's already connected, so you don't have really to do anything on the silver wiring that's on his chair. I'm assuming maybe that's made just to replicate the power that's being consumed by this chair, because every time he sits here, I think they monitor everything around him. So kind of like, as it's the name itself, the docking station. That's his docking station right there. Moving along to the actual figure itself, let's start off with the feet. There's a lot of details on this guy. He's getting a lot of heat for not being fully die-cast, and I must agree, after having Iron Patriot, I'm a bit disappointed. There's not a, when you hold Iron Patriot, he's die-cast. It's cold, it's heavy. I didn't get the same impression with this guy, but nonetheless, it didn't take out any experience unboxing him or doing this review. It's still an amazing piece, so I'm still glad that it's a part of my collection. So you can see here, there's a lot of details, and this figure is actually more articulated than I thought it would be. I did put in the data spike on his head this time. I was trying to show you all the fine details on his armor, so to speak. This being die cast, you will think that the articulation will be hindered, but it wasn't. It's perfect. I think it's the most articulated. I wouldn't say most articulated die cast figure because that's not true, but I guess a version of a Robocop, as I'm trying to say. I've seen the first one, wasn't really impressed about it, so I never really bothered picking that up, and I'm glad I didn't, because this is leaps and bounds, I would say, better than the first one. As you can see, the holster, that's how you open it up. So you have to bend the knees a little bit, so the back part because it swivels out, so it doesn't hit the knee. And also the front part, that's another thing, because the knee, as you can see, has like a little not indentation, but something on the top that would prevent that from opening. But this is the holster, and it pops in and out. And as you can see, I just took out the gun. I guess that's why you want to put the die cast gun in, because it has some weight on it, and it kind of helps the gun holster itself on sliding out, because of the heavier weight that's on it. So you can see here the inside of the legs. It's a lot of not moving parts, but there's a lot of detailed parts in there. Even his foot, really, he looks heavy. He looks like a tank. And as you can see there, I just want to mention that this one is spring loaded, so it kind of like goes up and just go right back down. It's still articulated, but not the articulation that you would normally want. And as you can see on the back part, he does have that piston that's connected from his foot to his shin. To his from his ankle all the way down to his calves, and it's nice. It's through a ball joint, so you don't have to worry. Every once in a while, it would pop out, so you just gotta pop it right back in if it does. So you can see on the back of his knee, that's made out of rubber. It's not a whole lot of metal on this guy. The die cast is probably just a gimmick with this guy, because honestly, I think it's both of his shoulders. The back part isn't even die cast. This guy is plastic. The tool that I showed you earlier, the one with an OCP, so you can see this kind of circular hole right here. That's where the magnet is placed, so you can just stick it in there and pull it out, and voila, that's where the battery compartment is. Just open this too, and then there's a switch. The moment you press it down, he would start talking. I believe there's like 4 phrases, which you would not hear in this video. It's a nice feature. I wouldn't, that wouldn't be my selling point, but I'm glad it's included. I'd rather have it than not have it. I just hope that they didn't really, added an additional, $80 for that feature. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And I was saying earlier, as you can see, when the light hits the figure, metal or not, some of the parts are not metal, but it still kind of gives you this lilac shine through his figure, and I love it. I think that's kind of accurate, although some people are saying he's too silver, or some people are having problems with his paint apps. Me personally, it's okay with me. I'm not that picky, or maybe he's a little shade of this or a little shade of that. To me, it's perfect. And as far as articulation, as you can see, you can pull out his arms. So for better articulation, you can now move it, 360. The waist, kind of like Iron Man, you can pop it out. His elbows bends up to 90 degrees. There you go. That's the most you could do. I was trying to, like a gun holding pose. That's it. The good thing is his forearm has some articulation as well. It's made out of rubber. It's on a separate ball joint, so you can put it up, you can put it down. So it kind of makes up for the, the not double jointed elbow that he does have. So it's a pretty cool touch. Even on the movie itself, he didn't really jog or do any crazy stunts with his suit, because let's face it, this suit is heavy and he moves like a tank. This suit is not made for agility or, jumping all over the place. It's made to deflect bullets, and there you go. I just showed you how to tuck it in. Really easy. Just put it in to, kind of push it inside so it doesn't look too funny when you're displaying him. And it's Just giving you like details here. The knee has some, as you can see, the black part is rubber, and once you move the knee, it can move. It has a good range of movement, but it's in a ratchet joint, so every time you move it, you'll hear a clicking, which is not bad. It just shows you how how tight the joints are, I guess. It's a bit on the heavy side, even though it doesn't have a whole lot of die cast in it, so it has to be really, really stable. And this is the leg. One more feature that I do like is you can pop this out. You can see the big gap right there, and really does help when you are putting him in a sitting position, because otherwise he would look kind of funny if this feature is not included. Also, to take out the battle damage piece on his chest, you just take this out. That's the speaker that you're looking at right now. That's where the voice does indeed come out. This is the two magnets on the top of his armor. Really easy to take on and off. You just kind of snap it in there. Make sure the bottom parts are aligned as well. Even though it's not like gonna fall off or anything, but just looks better. And as far as the head sculpt, you can't deny that this is Tom Weller. This is Weller written all over it, even though you can't really see his eyes. So I gotta give like a, I want to say I want to deduct some points because he doesn't show his face, but you know what? That's even harder, because you gotta recognize someone just through their lips or the the facial structure. And with this guy, you wouldn't really guess anyone else but Weller. I mean, I guess at least to those 80s babies, which kind of like myself. There you go, and just give you a good 360 of the figure with the head sculpt. I like interchangeable faceplates. I always do, and I always will. The reason being is that it gives your character or the figure some variety, some emotions. I like the fact that when I'm trying to take pictures of this guy, I can mix up, or just plain trying to display him, I can mix up some scenarios or whatnot. And I just showed you how easy it is to take out his helmet, even his mouth plates on and off. In this case, this is basically the head, so you just you're not gonna have a hard time at all. So I just replaced it with like an open mouth kind of expression there. So you just slide it on there. My camera's having trouble focusing now because I'm moving all over the place. I'm putting my hand out, placing faceplates, and I'm in a close-up mode. And you just kind of scoot this down. Here you go. And you can't deny that it's still Tom Weller, I mean Peter Weller. But beautiful. The only one that I believe this is not the kissy one. That's the only one I kind of don't understand. I will rewatch the movie again. Maybe he did do the expression. I don't know, but I just don't think it's it's kind of funny. That's why. This one is more suitable for the battle damage helmet, and so you can see there the eye. It looks like he's in pain. He's getting shot at. Some bullet holes in his helmet and in his armor plates in his chest. So that's kind of beautiful right there. And it's not like you can't use this faceplate on the clean helmet. You still could. I'm just saying that some faceplates works better with the battle damage pieces one, and some does look better with the clean version, just like the regular mouthpiece. Looks like he's in pain here, so what we'll do is we'll move along to the next section. Moving on to the next section, we'll do a just a pose that you could do. This is very poseable figure. There's a lot of articulation in him. Although in the movie you can't really, do anything extravagant or kind of crazy with him, because like I said, he's Robocop. He's a walking tank basically. So just giving you a good 360 look with his data spike. And this is the holding the gun and shooting at you kind of scene. And let me mention that it doesn't come with a hand that grips the his gun, so it is a pain. Yeah, it's not as bad as people make it out to be, but it could have been so much easier, so much safer if they included a gun wielding hand. How hard could it be? Because right now this gun is being balanced through, his fingers that are not exactly the strongest ones, and trying to recreate a pose where he's about to draw his weapon on his holster, ready to fire. And as you can see, the knees, I did bend it a little bit so that, you don't have to bend it all the way that much, but I guess on this particular scene I just kind of want to illustrate that, just kind of put too much emphasis so you don't break your figure when you're trying to open these slots, because they're made out of plastic, the covers, so gotta be careful. These guys aren't cheap, especially this version. And I'm gonna put another pose here, this time sitting with a chair. This is the, I guess, advantage and disadvantage of a chair, kind of like when you have Mandarin. Yes, you can pose Mandarin standing up, but once you have the chair, you kind of want him sitting down, and he gets kind of stuck in that pose, in that neutral pose, for a long time. And it would be such a travesty if you just keep Robocop in this pose and not utilize his awesomeness on a stand or anything like that. As you can see on the chair, I kind of turned on the light so you can just clearly see it's a strong light, not as strong as some of those LED lights that you can clearly see it once I turn off the lights, but that's something I wouldn't do. It just gives you an idea on how it looks like sitting on a chair. You can do multiple, I guess, scenarios on the chair. You can pop the head, the teeth coming out, kind of like he's in pain. Maybe he was having a nightmare again, as you know in the movie. The chair looks cool. It defines Robocop as well. I guess it all depends on your budget. All depends on their budget. It's not big. It's not that big. It will fit in a Detolf and any other shelf. It's just you can't put him with another figure if you do have the chair. Then it'll be a bit crowded, so to speak. And with that being said, that is it. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope this review really helped you out on deciding. Let me tell you this: if you're an 80s baby, this is a must-have. If you have Terminator, you shouldn't even be watching this video and ordering it right now. It might not sell well, especially with the younger generations now, not knowing who Robocop is. Maybe they did find the 2014 Robocop cooler. I don't know, but for me, this is an instant classic. I gotta have this, big part of my childhood, and it's a great representation of the movie, of the character. The price is a bit high, but the prices nowadays, if you can't afford the chair version, I'm gonna put a link of both the chair version and the one with no chair version on the description below. Check it out. They're double rewards right now on Sideshow, so technically the chair version would come out to $400 and the non-chair would come out to $270. If you factor in the rewards that you're getting, like $250 or so. So it's not bad, It's kind of like buying Heartbreaker, so to speak. Alright, thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't done so, and till next time.